Dear children, welcome to our YouTube channel Vidya for Success. In this video, let us study the characteristic features of the one more phylum, that is Aschelminthes. Yes, in our last video, we have studied the characteristic feature of Platyhelminthes. So there we have seen that Platyhelminthes are commonly known as flatworms because of their characteristic appearance. So Aschelminthes members are commonly known as roundworms. If you see the diagram here, this is one of the Aschelminthes. The shape of this animal is cylindrical, and if you take the section, transverse section, it looks circular in outline. So because of this, the members of Aschelminthes are commonly called as roundworms. So all the animals we have here is roundworms. Where do we find the members of Aschelminthes? What is their habitat? So they may be aquatic. That means some of the species of Aschelminthes lives in water and they are free living actually. That means they are not living within the other organism here. Instead of that, in the water they live as predators. That means they feed on some other lower animals and they survive. So that they are called as free living, and some are terrestrial, and we have some of the parasitic organisms here. So parasitic means they lives in within the other living organism body and they causes diseases. So different habitat we can see in the organism. Some are aquatic free living and terrestrial, some are, and some are parasitic. That means they lives within the other living organism body. They feed on the food from the host. Then if you see the symmetry of body, they are bilaterally symmetric animal. That means you can understand by seeing the diagram, right? Only through one plane passing through the central axis, we can divide the animal into exact two halves. So because of that, the symmetry in the animal is bilateral symmetry. They are called as bilaterally symmetrical animals. And if you come to the level of organization, they are little advanced compared to the Platyhelminthes. So a Platyhelminthes were shown only organ level of organization. There the organs are primitive, clear, but here the organisms are showing organ system level of organization. So the organs are systematically organized and formed organ system level of organization. Then they are triploblastic animals. So triplo is nothing but what? Three layers, is it not? So if you see the embryo of the Aschelminthes, they consist of three embryonic layer. That means three germinal layers will be present: outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, and middle mesoderm. Understood? So because of the presence of middle mesoderm, the animals are triploblastic animals. Then as I told you, these organisms are commonly known as what? Roundworms. Why they are known as roundworms? Yes, because of their characteristic shape. They are cylindrical, and if you take the cross section, they appear circular in outline, so that they are called as roundworms. So here with the examples of animals comes under the Aschelminthes. One of the example is Ascaris. It is called as roundworm. So the first diagram what you are observing here, that is Ascaris. Ascaris is actually parasitic to human. It lives in the intestine of human by causing disease called as ascariasis. Understood? So the next example is Eukarya. It is called as a filarial worm. So this filarial worm is also comes under as Aschelminthes category. So this will also causes one of the disease called as elephantiasis. So the second diagram what you are observing here on the screen, that is Eukarya. So this is the one more roundworm. Then one more example is Encyclostoma. Encyclostoma is commonly called as hookworm. Clear? So the third diagram is hookworm. So these are the few examples of animals comes under Aschelminthes phylum. Yes, as I told you, these animals are showing organ system level of organization. So let us now look into what are those organ system, how they actually perform function in their body. So this is the diagram of Ascaris. So in the Ascaris, male and female animals are separate. Why I am telling this is, we have seen in the Platyhelminthes that both the sex organs will be produces, that means both the gametes will be produces within the same animal. That means the animals there were bisexual. But here the animal is unisexual. That means sexes are separate. Male worm is separate, female worm is separate. So you can see that in the diagram. So if you come to the organ system level of organization, so one of the first system is digestive system. So the kind of digestive system here we have is complete type of digestive system. So when we are calling digestive system as a complete, yes, here the digestive system consists of two openings. One is mouth and another one is anus. You can observe those two parts in the diagram. Mouth is present towards the anterior region and anus is present towards the posterior region. So that digestive system consists of two opening. One is for ingestion. Mouth helps in intaking of food, and then the food is get digested in the digestive system, and then the undigested solid waste is thrown out from the body through anus. So that digestive system is complete. And here we can see some advanced structure compared to the Platyhelminthes. That means the pharynx is muscular in nature. That means some muscles will be present. So those muscles helps in movement. So because of this movement, the easy flow of food can be takes place in the digestive system. Clear? So these muscles, muscles function means is what? They show some kind of movement, right? So the pharynx made out of muscle, so the movement of muscles in the pharynx helps in the flow of food to different part of the digestive system. And if you come to the excretion, so excretion takes place with the help of primitive type of excretory system. So here we can see the presence of excretory tube. Excretory tube will be present. So this helps in removal of waste through the excretory pore. So excretory pore will be present. You can see in the diagram that is present in the anterior region just below the mouth on the ventral region. So this excretory pore is there to excrete the waste material. That means the liquid waste is get excreted from the body through the excretory pore. So that excretory tube is present. Excretory tube consists of excretory pore, and through the excretory pore the liquid waste comes out from the body. Then if you come to the nervous system, so nervous system is also primitive type like a Platyhelminthes. So here we can see the circumpharyngeal nerve ring. So brain is present. That means the cerebral ganglia are present. So cerebral ganglia are connected with the circumpharyngeal nerve ring, and on the ventral surface we can see the pair of nerve cords. So same as we have seen in the Platyhelminthes. Two nerve cords will be present, and in the head region it consists of brain, and that means the brain is nothing but what? Cerebral ganglia. So those cerebral ganglia connected with the circumpharyngeal nerve ring. So that is a simple network of primitive nerve tissues we can see in the round worm. So it helps in sending any kinds of signal from one part to the other part of the body. And if you come to the sensory organs, so sensory organs are generally absent in the roundworm. So they consist of some of the chemosensitive cells and photosensitive cells. So these cells, they help in sensing some of the changes happening in their environment. Instead of that, there is no any specific sensory organs here. Clear? Whatever may be the sense, they are sensed by some kind of chemosensitive as well as photosensitive cells. Then let us move to the mode of reproduction. So the reproduction commonly takes place by means of sexual method. So here you can see this is the diagram of Ascaris roundworm. So in the Ascaris we have male and female separate worms. Male worm is separate, female worm is separate. So we could make out the differences between male and female worms here, because the male is very short and it consists of infolded posterior end, and female is very long and there is no folded posterior end. So these are the few morphological differences between male and female individual in the Ascaris. So the sexes are separate. There is a distinct male and female here. So in the female worm, you can notice the presence of gonopore. So gonopore is actually the opening of oviduct. So from where the entry of male gamete takes place, or the removal of egg takes place from the female animal. But if you see the mode of fertilization, so the fertilization is internal. That means it takes place within the female body itself, so that the fertilization is called as internal fertilization. And the development may be indirect or direct. So some of these species, they show indirect mean of development. That means the larval stage will be present. So the larval stage is called as rhabditiform larva or filariform larva. In the filarial worm, the larval stage can be seen, that is called as filarial worm, filariform larva, and in the Ascaris we can see rhabditiform larva. So because the larva leads to the formation of adult worm, the development is indirect in some of the species. And in some of the species, the development is direct. That means there is no larval stage. The young worm just appears like an adult. So there are two chances of development here, that is depends on the kind of species. So some they will show indirect mean of development and some they will show direct mean of development. Understood? So these are all the characteristic features what we can see in the members of Aschelminthes, that is the roundworm.